Oh, you lot. So, yes, what did I do? I committed to doing a video every single day in January, a YouTube video. Excuse me. YouTube video every single day in January, a sub 10-minute YouTube video. So, under 10 minutes YouTube video every single day in January. And I did it yesterday. I did it to the letter in that I did my first ever YouTube short. It was Saturday, and I thought, you know what? I've not done a video. And I thought, right. Anyway, so I did it. I did what I said I was going to do, and that's what people need to do. Otherwise, don't say it. I come across so many people as part of being a motivational speaker who say, I should have, I could have, I would have, but you didn't. And actually, I don't want to hear that. And from your perspective, don't waste my life telling me what you should have, you could have, you would have. And actually, don't waste your breath telling me what you should have, you could have, you would have. You know, if you are going to do what you say what you do. And that's what I do. I always tell people what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and create a national network. And when people laugh, I'm going to go and write another book. People laugh, I'm going to go. You see, by doing that, put my balls on the table effectively, it kind of makes it more real. So today, if you want to find success, then what you need to do is find your contentment. And you go, what are you on about, Brad? Let me tell you something. When I go on a holiday, I go to the best holidays that I could ever dream of. Holidays the likes of which I could never dream of making happen. All right, it's not been the case in the last couple of years because of COVID. But, you know, prior to that, and I'm hoping, all being well, that I'll get to go away and have an amazing holiday this year as well. But the holidays I go on, in my worldview, based on my experience being a council kid from Salford and so forth, and, you know, and never having a pot to piss in, my holidays are the best holidays that I could wish for. Like, genuinely, on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 10. Now, if Kim Kardashian was to come on my holidays that I go on, she would probably go, this is almost pauperish. And on a scale of 1 to 10, she would go, this is beneath me, or it's not. So my 10 in her world would be perhaps a 1 or a 2. Who's got it right? Is it me or is it her? You just clock that for a second. So all of a sudden, my 10 out of 10, based on my worldview, is a 10 out of 10. My 10 out of 10 in her world would probably be a 1 or a 2 out of 10 because it's not what it needs to be from a financial perspective, whatever, right? Can you see how dangerous that is? Can you see how dangerous that is? That people sometimes get to a point where you just keep getting the next big thing, the next faster car and so forth. And when does it end or does it not? I mentioned him from one of his previous videos, a friend of mine who bought a yacht, like multi-million-pound yacht, and he's delighted with it. And then all of a sudden he then goes to Marbella and the docks, or what they called the mooring. And now what he in his worldview was this amazing yacht is now minuscule, and now he feels inferior because of all the big ones. Comparing, is not good. No good comes from it. So just think about that for a second, right? Just think about that. And I'll tell you something. What I talk about this whole thing about what success is, I'm going to ask you right now, what do you think success is? What is success to you? Just think what success is. So probably what I would say is it'd be like supercars, mansion, amazing holidays, money, the finest food, And the problem is if you go first class all the time, it's no longer first class. It becomes standard class. And this is where we get ourselves in a mess as an individuals. I did it. So, success and those things that I talked about, that's what I thought success was. And I got myself in a mess in 2012. I really did. Is that I'd kind of foisted what the worldview of what success is on my life, and that's what I needed to do. So, for instance, at Christmas, I bought 6 bottles of champagne, went to Waitrose and bought 6 bottles of Vive Cliquet, whatever it's called, can't pronounce it, champagne when I first become new money. This Christmas, we had $9.99 bottles of Prosecco and a couple of them, and a bottle of champagne that somebody gifted me. Now, was this Christmas worse than the one where we did the big flash one? No. But you see, even so, when I started making new money, I used to go to a restaurant and I would choose the most expensive thing on the menu. Not the thing that I wanted, but the most expensive thing on the menu. So I got joy from the fact that I could afford it, having, lived on Tesco's beans and waffles and bird's eye crispy pancakes, triple cheese, boom, right? So now it was that. So, but once you've done that and you tick that box, there's 2 ways you can go here. One, you can now go, instead of getting 6 bottles of champagne at Christmas, you now go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and keep going. Or you can go, you know what? Honestly, that isn't where contentment is found. What we end up doing, we confuse fun with contentment. So, when I talk about this whole thing about success, I've got friends of mine who have got money, like the likes of which you just unbelievable, and they're no happier than you and I. if anything, they're less happy. They're less happy. And this is what you need to do. You need to find contentment before you find success. You need to find contentment, because if right now you're unhappy with your life, like unhappy, deeply unhappy with your life, if you get success and I promise you get there, you're still going to be deeply unhappy. How on earth do you know that, Brad? Because that's what happened to me. And that's what happens to people that I encounter. People confide in me. Stop it, guys. Dogs. People confide in me. And I don't know why. I've just always been one of those people, right? And I'm telling you right now, so many people have success. They're ill. Because what ends up happening is if you fly first class, day in, day out, it's no longer first class. It's standard. And the only way that they can find that buzz is by going bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And when does it end? So you go back down to Kim Kardashian. Do you honestly believe that she's happier than you or I? She's going through a divorce at the moment. Do you think she's happier than you or I? No. But listen. Now let me be quite clear. This is not me being down on success. Me being down on supercars or on money. I'm not. All I'm trying to say to you is that is not where success lies. I promise you. I'll tell you where success lies for so many people. Contentment in this, that you're content and serene within this. Success for me, for some people, is that ability who somebody runs their own business, for them to be able to go to a sports day, the kids' sports day, without having to fill in a holiday requisition form. That's success. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't want more and you can't get more. Of course you should do. But I promise you, if you're not found contentment with where you are right now, it is not by owning a supercar. It's not. So what I want you to recognize here, that the price for success can sometimes be contentment, because my friends who have got success are not content. They're not comfortable with where they are. And it's always about the next business, the next deal, the next. I've split that. And it's about now. You know, I'm not making as much money as I once did. But you know what? I'm more content than I've ever been. And it's like, whoa, that is like, what? Like, just let that sink in. I'm not making as much money as I once did, but I'm more content than I've ever been. I've got everything I want. I've got everything I need. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. It's about contentment, because I tell you, if you're not content and you believe that by finding success or whatever these things are that you covet and you want to get, and you get them, and then you get there and you're not content still, fuck. Shit. Now what? And that's exactly why I wrote the book, Now What? Back in 2015, 2016, now what? I'd achieved every single goal in my life that I'd set out for, and it felt empty. So it was now a case of me making a positive difference and helping other people. Look, the reality is that so many people are creating themselves problems because they are focused on a future that never arrives. They're focused on content that eludes them. They're focused on a future at the expense of now. People. Every single decision that you've ever made in your entire life has brought you to this video today. I've been talking to you for the last 9 minutes. You need to hear this, right? People, one day you are not going to be here. One day you're going to die. And do you honestly think on your dying breath, you're going to go, thank Christ I bought that Lamborghini? Or do you think you're going to think, I wish I wouldn't have spent so much time away from my family to buy a Lamborghini? You know, you have a decision to make. Like everything in life, the decision is yours. It really is. I've got success. I've got contentment. Right? That is my success. And that should be yours. Do not waste your life chasing success only to end up with success. Right, that's me, the system. Every single day we're going to be doing a video in January. An amazing day, people. Go and get it. Whatever it is.